Hey there. Today's episode really gets me excited, and you could see by the smile on my face. And why does this excite me? Because I've come to a realization that you need to have a YouTube account. I know you have a YouTube account where automatically, just by having a Gmail account, you're already assigned a YouTube account so you can view other people. But I'm talking about having your own active YouTube account where you share your own message, your own perspective to the world. Because the truth is, whether you like it or not, you have a unique perspective. There is something that you see that the rest of us cannot see. You alone have the unique perspective. Think about it. You nobody looks like you, nobody talks like you, nobody has experienced the same thing as you have, and nobody has a wealth of knowledge and wisdom that you have. But how did I come to this point? And it's simple. I was scrolling through my audiobook some time ago, and out of the blues, thought just hit me. I realized that a majority, not all, but at least 50% of the people I spend a lot of time listening to, folks who have influenced me over the period of maybe 10, 15 years and above, all had one thing in common. Whether it was Wayne Dyer, Bob Proctor, Neville Goddard, Miles Monroe, Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, Jim Rohn, Mandela, Solomon, or Florence Scovel Shinn, Joseph Murphy, and so on. There are plenty of them. But they all had one thing in common. They're all dead. All dead, and yet mentoring millions of people from the grave. Some have been dead for decades, some centuries, and some millennia. How many times have you come across a book, a speaker, or stumbled on an audio piece of recording of a book that changed your life? You get so thrilled and pumped, only to do a little research and realize that this woman or this man died 85 years ago, or this speaker died 45 years ago, or this book was printed 250 years ago. Have you ever given thought to this statement that the world is run by dead people? Think about our traditions, our customs, our educational curriculums, and our national constitutions. And you understand why they say that tradition is peer pressure by dead people. In any case, here's my point. Most of us are on YouTube at least 1 or 2 hours every day, finding new things and old new things. And I want to encourage you, don't just be a consumer, contribute. And one of the biggest things that people always ask that, okay, I want to be on YouTube, but the biggest question they have is, but what am I going to talk about? What exactly am I going to say? There are so many experiences I have there are so many things I've learned over the course of my life that I want to share, but where do I start from? What do I say? I'm glad you asked. And here's what I'll say. If you could go back 20 years or 30 years, if you could go back to your 20-year-old self, what would you teach him and what would you teach her? What are the lessons or jewels you want to impart? What would you tell him to? What would be that? Just focus on this, or don't give up on this. What are the things that you will tell your 20-year-old self? What are the things you'll tell your 30-year-old self? What is the one thing or a couple of one thing that you have learned that has been so crucial and being the ingredient to who you are today? That is your message to the world. And I want you to think about it, really think about it. If I could go back 25 years today, if I could go back 30 years today, what are the things that I would teach myself? And that's the reason why I have this YouTube channel, because I would tell people, don't disrespect your gift, because I disrespected my gift for a long time in my life. I always say, oh no, I'm not it, or I'm not as good as these people, or I need to achieve something great in my life before I become a speaker. And I just laid my gift to waste for 20 years. So one of the biggest message I'll give to myself, if I could go back, is never disrespect your gift. Hold on to your gift. Like Joseph Murphy says, that the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. That's the message I'll give to my 20-year-old self or my 30-year-old self. So what is that message that you will tell your 20-year-old self? And I want you to realize this, that right now, at this moment, There are people all over the world who are where you used to be 20 years ago. That is the truth. There are people who are right now where you used to be 30 years ago. They are battling what you used to battle 30 years ago, what you overcame 20, 30 years ago. They're that spot right now. And they need your wisdom. They need your instruction. They need your light. They need your guidance, and they want it right now. Those are your people. And you rob them of that salvation if you do nothing. You need to crucify your fear. You need to crucify your insecurity. Listen, I was in a class, a business class, and the speaker said, your insecurity is not market reality. In other words, you don't know what my insecurities are. I don't know what your insecurities are. The market doesn't care about your insecurity. You are the only one who knows your insecurity and who bothers about them. The people that need your voice don't care about your insecurity. Have you ever had a toothache and all you just want to do is take it out, and then when you get to the dentist, do you care about his insecurity or her insecurity? No. All you want is your problem solved. And I want you to think about this. Think about all the fake teachers, the fake entrepreneurs, the fake influencers out there fleecing and feeding off your own people, the people that you are called to reach out. You know that you have a message. You just know. You know that there is more to me. You have this longing that there is a message I have to impart to the world. Again, Joseph Murphy said something that the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Don't be afraid to go out there and share your message. Now, to be honest, I'm not trying to get you to be a full-time YouTuber if you don't want to. But wouldn't it be good to meet someone who could tell you that, who could say to you that if it wasn't for your video, if it wasn't for your message, if it wasn't for your book, if it wasn't for your talk, if it wasn't for your business, if it wasn't for you, my life would have never been what it is today. That is what we should live for. Consider how many dead people's book we read, speeches we marvel at, audiobooks we listen to, podcasts we adore, inventions we adore, inventions we enjoy. Let me give you this story and I'll try to wrap up. In the 1800s, doctors used to monitor patients' heart by putting their ears to the chest. And for, female patients, this could be very embarrassing and very uncomfortable. But in the 1800s, a French doctor was trying to diagnose a patient with a heart condition. But on this very day, he was hesitant and uncomfortable placing his ear against the chest of this overweight young girl to observe her heartbeat. But just like that, he remembered a scene earlier that year, a scene that he saw while he was taking a morning walk. He watched as two kids were sending sound signals to each other using a long wood and a pin. So the doctor tightly rolled up a sheet of paper, put one over the young lady's chest and the other to his ears, and he was astonished. He could hear her heartbeat with so much clarity than he could have heard by pressing his ear against her chest, as was the custom back then. That is how the stethoscope was born. All these years, he has been carrying this stethoscope inside of him. And I say that to say this. I wonder what message you're carrying inside of you. I wonder the invention that you're carrying inside of you. Imagine all that while he's been carrying the stethoscope inside of him. There is an invention that you're carrying inside of you. There is a message that you're carrying inside of you. And you rob the world if you don't do something about that message. The least you can do, you already have a YouTube account. You already have a YouTube account. You already have a phone. You're watching me through a phone. Put up the phone and record your message out there. It gets easier, I promise you. I promise you. And, I'll just say this and I'll get off your face. If you need help finding that message, in honing it, launching your channel, and you really, really want to get into this YouTube, get into this to this moving train that's moving as fast as a speeding bullet, to go out there and share your message. But you're saying that, Victor, I have a sense of what my message is, but I don't really quite know how to place my finger on it. I don't know how to fine tune it. Then, I'm here to help. Send me an email. I'm going to leave an email in the description. And these are only for people who want to launch their channel within 48 hours. If you're not ready to launch within 48 hours, don't bother sending me an email. Let's sit together. Let's find your message. Let's find your unique identity, and let's fine tune it, and let's give it out to the world within 48 hours. And you'll be so shocked how liberating it is. You might be afraid, oh, I hope I don't mess up. No, nobody cares about your insecurity. You're not here because of my insecurity. You're here because of the message. So I really want to encourage you, if this is you and you know that you have a calling, you have a message within you that you want to share to the world, but you don't know how to start. You already know 70% of what to do. You already have a phone, you have a YouTube account. You know how to record. You've recorded selfies, you've taken pictures, recorded videos. It is not about perfection. It is about starting. So if you want me to work with you in just, honing your message, fine tuning it, and launching within 48 hours, then send me that email, okay? But don't waste time. Time waits for no one, all right? Take it easy and God bless.